Okay, here's a little side note. We're gonna fix this guy. Okay, we're gonna try to fix this guy right here. I'm gonna bring the ladder over. We're gonna use our pruner clips and really try to dial him down. Okay. So, as you can tell, he is way above my head. But this is the other half of the video. This is corrective pruning on severely damaged and neglected trees. Apple trees, to be more specific. So let's get up there with this, and I actually, it's already been sanitized, and the cutter. Okay, take all your heavy stuff off first, then your small stuff. I'm going to keep this straight on the tree over here. Now let's work on this guy. Okay, so we have a lot of fruit, a lot of developed fruit on this guy, and he's on the west side, so a lot of production, but he's just so high. So one of the things I've been taught, instead of lopping off the whole thing, is instead of taking off this whole central lead, go to the next arch, or next like crotch. And right here is an example of that. So if I were to take this off, it would pretty much open up everything. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to lead a central leader so it doesn't retaliate too much. So as we're up here, my hand is on the one that's going to go. And we're just going to cut it right off. Okay, there it is. Put your knife down, dust off your eyes, and chuck it. Okay, now that opened it up, right? That's our central lead. And we really kind of want to leave it, don't we? We do. But in order to open this bad boy up even more, we're going to take off. This is what I call the ladder effect. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one where my hand is. Taking off this guy in between opens up the airflow and the light from the sun. So if you want, you can actually start by going underneath the branch, making your little relief cut so it doesn't stress on the blade, and so that it doesn't tear down the tree when the weight finally goes the other way. And here we go. See? It went right on that relief cut. Down she goes. And it opened it up. So this guy, where my knife is, can be eliminated. One guy said is, if you throw your hat up into the tree and it falls down, not get caught on anything, you know it's pruned pretty good. But honestly, that's a lot of pruning, and I don't think it's healthy for the tree, so I won't be doing that. this one looks, it is dead and a little bit diseased, so we're going to take that out. It went right over, yeah. Okay, now I think it'd be almost better if we put this guy out right here. Eliminate some of that. So there we go, and remember, with this type of handle, you can handle it like this to do your relief cut real quick. There's your relief cut. These small branches don't need a lot. Okay, this guy right here that's going all the way up, can't see him. That's my central lead. I'm going to leave him. But now I'm going to go in with the clippers and just clip everything. And of course, move all of this dead wood over there away from the tree. So, let's do that. Okay. Actually, you may have a much better footage. Okay, much better footage if I go over here and show you. Let's see if I can't get this. Oh yeah. Okay, I just have to stabilize you. Okay, so as you can tell, I took off right about there. And we're just going to clean up all of this with the pruners or the loppers. Get it down to a manageable size. But that one right there, that's my central leader. All the rest, and probably one of those. So those two, we're going to leave. All the rest, we're going to cut back to sitting 6 inches on the stem or the horizontals. Right there and right there. And then we're going to work on this lower stuff right there. So actually, I think that's a pretty good wood. So I'm going to be right around in there. So yeah, I think that'll be good. Here we go. So we can always start from the base and work up. With this guy, which I do like him. I do. All the stuff growing in towards itself must come out. Anything that's withered, diseased, dead, or dying must go. Crossing is included. So, I mean, really quickly, you can just go through this whole tree. This one's diseased. This one's diseased. And, you know, this is the unfortunate event, is that a lot of these are diseased woods. And that's the issue. That's what we're dealing with, is diseased. But I really like this lower branch. In fact, I almost want to cut the whole thing down to these 2 lower branches. But we wouldn't have any fruit that way. So let's get up there and prune. I really like that lower branch. So I look up here and say, ah, no, I don't really care for that lower branch. Automatically, these water shoots have to go. They're doing nothing productive with the tree besides being that's okay. But water shoots are sent to leave, but too much weight in apples will snap, so you have to eliminate some for the sake of the others. This is withered, so it must automatically go. Same thing here. This is going up into that, so it has to go. You see? So, yes, this is all apple I'm taking off, like the actual fruit, but notice how I'm reducing it and not fully eliminating it, because this branch is not tough enough to support all of this apple. So, we gotta bring it down to where it can support it. Probably, to be honest with you, right there. Doesn't matter if this one grows, it won't grow anything but fruit. This is all flower, all fruit. Above me is all fruit. This is a very mature tree. But it had to be cleaned up. So again, right here, this is all mature fruit, right? And the thing is, when you cut it back on a fruiting spur, that won't grow any new growth. That will only grow fruiting wood. So I am maximizing my fruiting wood. I am trying to finally get bigger stuff. So what did I do here? Got a piece of something in my eye. There you go. Got it. Long-term wise, on the first half of the video that you saw, I saved the tree. Well, not me, but God allowed me to. On this half of the tree, I'm trying to make the fruit better quality and bigger, as well as a 5-year term plan, so this branch has 5 more years of life. So it may look ugly, but it's going to come out better tasting, better size, and quality. On the other half, it may take longer to produce fruit, but it's going to keep the tree alive longer for, I'd say, 10 to 20 years more. It's already 35 years old, so another 20 years of life and only about 5 years of waiting for fruit. 15 years of fruit. That's not bad. I'll take that. What about you? So, as we look right here, we want this guy to be our central lead. But we got a lot of stuff in here that has to come out. Oh, no. You see, that's what I don't care. No, it should be just one cut right there. One cut. There we go. See? Gone. Huh. I want one central lead. I want one central lead, right? Probably gonna end up cutting him. Definitely don't want him. Gone he goes. Out he goes. He goes there. He gets cut to there. And he gets back to there. That won't produce. That won't produce. That very okay. Really like that lower branch. Yeah. Okay. This is where you get the loppers. And I do have a pair of Corona loppers, as well as my Corona shears and prune us off, but I'm not sponsoring them, just saying they're very sharp, durable, and last a long time. So let's get the loppers. Okay. So all parts of the tree must be pruned accordingly. So we're going to change angles up right here. There we go. There we go. So that's my central lead, and that's my central lead. And the rest of it is pretty much fruit. Okay. Not bad looking. Except for this guy. Okay. Okay, I like it. I like it. Except for that branch right there. Let's take a closer look at this branch and see what we can take off. Well, first off, we don't want it to necessarily go up, so we need to go down. See that? Bud directionals. Works every time. We don't want it to grow that way, so cut it off at a fruiting bud. We don't want too much congestion, so cut it off in the middle. And again, cut it off at a fruiting bud. Okay, do we want a central lead? Maybe. There we go. We'll leave him. Get some fruit off. Now, just that little branch. Let's go Cougars. Nah. Okay. Last little branch, victory of the Lord. Go, buddy. Okay, 2 central leads and 2 central leads. Actually, some of those leads over there can come off. And then this guy is fully correctly pruned, as well as a 5-year planned term. And I'll tell you how I got to that in a moment. Okay. Right here is the last thing we really gotta deal with. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Okay. He is now fully, almost fully, turned. There we go. So, okay. Picking up all the branches from a pile of wasted trees. Okay, there it is. There's the tree. So, this way, still has fruit, still getting sunlight, photosynthesis through the leaves, and the apples, but it has a whole new future. 35-year-old tree can now last another 20 years if the Lord Jesus allows. All the waste wood is right over there. Everything is away from the tree. Eventually all of that will be cleared, and this is the start of corrective pruning for apple trees in the North Country. But it is not the end. Okay. Glory to the Lord Jesus. Amen.